Oh my goodness, Emmerdale family. Grab your favorite mug, pour the tea, or something stronger, because we might need it, and pull up a chair. We need to debrief immediately because the Dales have officially delivered one of those messy, heartbreaking, I can't believe he just did that storylines that we are going to be obsessing over for weeks. If you've been glued to the screen like I have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We aren't just dealing with a little white lie here. We are talking about a massive, life-altering sum of money, £15,000 to be exact, and a secret plan that has completely shattered a friendship we didn't even realize was so fragile. Let's dive into this chaotic web involving our favorite medical student, Jacob Gallagher, the always entertaining Carrie Wyatt, and the village's resident wheeler dealer with a heart, usually of gold, Eric Pollard. The £15,000 bombshell, a lottery win or a trap? First off, can we just imagine being in Carrie Wyatt's shoes for a second? Picture this: you're going about your day, dealing with the usual village drama, maybe worrying about paying for a round at the Woolpack, and suddenly, bam, you check your phone or open a letter, and there is a bank account in your name that you definitely didn't open. And sitting in that account is a cool £15,000. Now, I don't know about you, but my first instinct would be absolute panic mixed with a tiny bit of, is this my lucky day, euphoria. For Carrie, a character who has had her fair share of financial ups and downs, mostly downs, let's be real. This must have felt like a hallucination. But here is where the story takes that classic Emmerdale dark turn. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a lottery win. It was a setup. Jacob Gallagher, the voice of reason, for once. We have watched Jacob grow up on our screens. We've seen him go from the cute kid in the shop to the rebellious teen entangled with Maya. Shudder, we still aren't over that. And now he's trying so hard to be the responsible medical student. Bless his heart, Jacob is the one who clocks the danger immediately. While Carrie might have been momentarily dazzled by the zeros, Jacob's future doctor instincts kicked in. He warns her, rightly so, that spending a penny of that mysterious cash could land her in hot water. We're talking fraud charges, police investigations, the whole 9 yards. Can you feel the tension? Jacob is already under so much pressure with his placement at the hospital, dealing with life-and-death situations every day. The last thing he needs is a financial scandal involving his family and friends. You can just see the stress radiating off him in these scenes. He's trying to keep everyone safe, but the secrets in this village have a way of burying you. The mastermind revealed, oh, Eric, why? And then came the twist that made me gasp. Who was behind the account? Who had £15,000 lying around and decided to stash it in Carrie's name of all people? Eric Pollard. I mean, on one hand, it's classic Pollard. He's always moving money, making deals, and trying to control outcomes from the shadows. But on the other hand, really, Eric? The reveal that Pollard set up the account specifically to funnel tax-free cash to Jacob is such a complex emotional beat. It's not done out of malice, it's done out of love. Eric is terrified for Jacob's future. He wants to secure a safety net for the boy he loves like a son. He sees Jacob struggling. He worries about the costs of his education and his life. And in his warped old-school businessman brain, this was the solution. But the execution? It's a disaster. By using Carrie as a mule without her consent, he hasn't just committed a crime. He's used a friend as a pawn. He stripped Carrie of her agency and put her at legal risk, all to play the hero for Jacob. It's that classic soap trope, doing the wrong thing for the right reason. Friendship shattered, Carrie's fury. This is where the emotional part really hits home. The fallout isn't just about the money, it's about the betrayal. Harry and Pollard have an odd, quirky dynamic. They are neighbors, they are villagers who have survived storms, literal and metaphorical, together. There is a baseline of respect there, or there was. When Carrie realizes she was just a vessel for Eric's scheme, the hurt is palpable. It's not just anger, it's humiliation. To find out you were being used by someone you trusted, someone who looks you in the eye every day at the B&B or the shop. That stings. The confrontation scenes are absolutely electric. Carrie's fury is justified. She's screaming what we are all thinking. How dare you put me at risk? Do I mean nothing to you? And poor Jacob is caught in the crossfire. He's the beneficiary of this gift, but it's a poisoned chalice. He didn't ask for the money to be laundered through Carrie. Now he has to deal with his grandfather figure facing legal trouble and his friend/neighbor Carrie feeling completely betrayed. It's a mess, and it's tearing the little family unit apart. Why this storyline hits us so hard? I think the reason this specific plot is lighting up the chat groups is that it's so relatable in a twisted way. The financial anxiety, we all know how hard things are right now. The idea of someone trying to help a student family member financially is sweet, but the lengths Pollard went to, it shows how desperation can make good people do shady things. The trust issue. We've all had a friend or family member make a decision for us without asking us. It feels patronizing. Pollard didn't trust Jacob to handle the money, and he didn't respect Carrie enough to ask her. The Jacob factor. We just want Jacob to win. The poor lad has been through the ringer. Every time he gets a bit of stability, like his medical studies, something pulls the rug out. This £15,000 was supposed to be a help, but it's become an anchor dragging him down. What's next? The fallout speculation. Okay, so where do we go from here? The secret is out, at least to the key players, and the £15,000 is sitting there like a ticking time bomb. Will Carrie report him? She's angry enough to do it. If she goes to the police to clear her name, Eric could be looking at serious charges. Can you imagine Pollard behind bars at his age? It would break David if he were here, and Jacob. Will Jacob reject the money? Knowing Jacob's moral compass, he might refuse to touch a penny of it now that he knows how it was obtained. That would leave Eric heartbroken, his grand gesture rejected. The ripple effect. This is going to cause waves through the Dales. How will the rest of the Dingles react if they find out Carrie was used? Final thoughts. Team Carrie or Team Pollard? I have to ask you guys because I'm genuinely torn. Obviously what Pollard did was wrong. Illegally opening accounts? Bad idea. Using friends? Terrible idea. But can you see the heartbreak in his eyes? He's an old man scared of leaving his family with nothing. He wants to ensure Jacob succeeds. It's tragic. However, I'm leaning Team Carrie on this one. You don't play games with people's legal records. She just fought too hard to get her life on track to be dragged down by Pollard's schemes. Tell me what you think in the comments. Would you forgive Pollard if you were Carrie? Should Jacob keep the money? I mean, it is £15,000. And are you loving this dramatic, secret-filled side of the Dales as much as I am? Let's chat because I have a feeling this is only the beginning of the drama for the Gallagher/Pollard clan.